Are you embodying the queen energy? Today, I am going to dive into the queen energy and what it means to actually embody this queen energy, the queen archetype. And if you don't know me, my name is Jessica Angelari. I'm a feminine embodiment and pleasure, intimacy mentor and guide. And I'm such an advocate for shifting what it means to embody the feminine. So today, as we dive into this queen energy, I want you to really feel into what that means for you. This is especially for the woman who knows deep down that you are meant for more. You are done with feeling burnt out or dealing with bad behavior in a relationship or silencing yourself in a situation because you fear of how someone might react, but you know deep down you need to treat yourself better. This is about you walking the walk, the queen walk. And it's about speaking and moving and delighting yourself like a true queen because you are so deserving of that. And it's about you really feeling into the sensuality, to your sensual aliveness, which is your birthright, delighting every sense with your pleasures in all moments. And usually, when we think of the queen, we might think of power or taking care of yourself and mastering the act of treating yourself in such a way. But what does that even mean? What does that mean for you? And what does power mean for you? I feel that we can really go deeper than this. And when we start to tune into the queen energy, there's a whole level that we women need to step into. It's about showing up in the world like a queen and knowing what that means for you. And of course, you have to treat yourself like a queen. And it goes beyond as well than just taking care of yourself with baths and retreats, which are all beautiful and I love as well. But it's really about you showing up so authentically as a queen, making decisions from that space that really serve your heart and the highest good of all. Speaking to your man from the space of your heart to speak to his heart. So this also means having courage, and it means not being so hard on yourself, which I feel like a lot of us women are. We are very hard on ourselves. Showing up for yourself can mean looking at where you are afraid of disappointing someone. It could even mean knowing if you are putting pressure on yourself to please everyone. I've noticed when this shows up for me, I know that I'm not showing up for my queen self, and it doesn't feel good. I feel this tightness in the belly. I know when you are not being authentically you. So I've been doing a lot of work on this, diving into this, going deep into my own womanhood through my womb and asking myself, where am I limiting myself? Where am I not really showing up? Where am I not choosing me and not choosing courage and this trust in myself? And it's easy to go down the path of ignoring your wisdom and that feeling of yes, and instead choosing the doing instead of really connecting with this truth. So I'm asking you the same, sister. So really think about these questions. Where are you limiting yourself? Where are you not choosing courage and not trusting yourself to fully show up? The first step is to always start inquiring into this dark feminine energy. So instead of me telling you what a queen is today, and because I can sit here for hours sharing what a queen is, I feel like this takes more than just one masterclass, more than one ceremony to fully tap into this queen energy. That's why I've created beautiful programs like Feminine Remembrance. But just for today, I want you to feel into it. I want you to feel into her and notice what comes up for you. What does it mean to embody this queen energy? What comes up for you? What do you see? How do you carry yourself? What are you no longer afraid of when you tap into her? How do you operate in your day-to-day life when you think about embodying the queen energy? And write these down. You can even pause the recording just to write these down, or you can come back to these questions after this episode and make sure you journal these. Now, for me, when embodying the queen energy, several things come to my mind. And one of them is a willingness to be seen in a way that doesn't feel forced. It's from the space of authenticity. And it means embracing all of you, your wholeness, and that includes accepting your messiness, your imperfections, your resistance, your fears, really being transparent. This is for me so important because I feel like in today's world, we require true authenticity, transparency more than ever, especially in a world of perfectionism. Because the truth is, our journey is not perfect. This journey of evolution and alignment and coming into your true authentic self is not a perfect journey. I love being raw. I love being truthful. I feel like this is what the world needs. We have enough perfection as it is, as I mentioned. And it's such a powerful, liberating place to be, to say, I made a mistake here, or I'm not perfect, or I have this doubt that's still playing up in my life. But you know what? I still love me. I'm not perfect, and I'm still enough. And I feel like we really need to give this permission to ourselves, because the human in me, in you, is about making mistakes. It's about having the fears, not striving for that place of perfection. There is no arrival. And we can hide parts of these of ourselves for sure, but I even feel like this is a disempowering place to be. It's a scary place to be in hiding all the time. It's exhausting. It limits our radiance. It limits our magnetic, receptive self. Your queen is about fully being seen in your light and in your shadows. So, sister, I would like you to think about how you are hiding. Maybe you are hiding in the way that you put your work out in the world. Maybe you are hiding in the way that you put up with pressures and behaviors because you're afraid of how someone will respond. Maybe you're hiding your voice, this truth of yours. But this dimming down, this hiding, this sabotaging of your heart is not serving your highest good. And being seen and speaking out as the queen is also intertwined with this essence of love. Otherwise, it's coming from ego, arrogance, and from this idea of authority or I am better. So just because you start to show yourself, it also doesn't mean you have to come from this place of arrogance. That's not what the queen in her power needs to do. And I also feel like this is how we start to shift the ideas that have been fed to us about what the queen is that she is this person of authority and she is above everyone else. Let's change that. So how are you hiding, sister? How are you hiding you? How are you not stepping into your sensuality, into your power, into this person who knows her boundaries? This is about you having your own back. And if people don't like it, then that's on them. So when we're hiding, we have not really claimed something within ourselves, the dark aspect that is ready to be claimed by your light. When we're hiding, we are rooted in fear. And this element is asking us for the love and compassion that no one else can offer you but you. So we hide because we are afraid. So to step into your queen self, it means to face the fear right in the eye. So then the fear no longer has a hold on you anymore. Maybe for some of you, the fear is not being liked. There is a fear of being judged, a fear of being rejected or unliked or making a mistake. So then you fear of looking imperfect. So until you really claim this and face it and notice how this fear is holding you back, we can then heal it. You will forever otherwise be fearing to be fully seen and find it hard to really embody this queen energy of yours, who is whole. The second thing you must do to embody your queen energy is to know what you want. You must know what you want and show up for it so unapologetically. You have to know what it is that lights up your heart. That's how you know what you want and what makes you feel safe, what makes you show up in joy. To embody this queen energy, you have to know where you are going. You have to know your vision. You have to know what's important to you, what you want. Otherwise, you're just fighting and ruling from the place of uncertainty or from the place of, this is what others want from me, rather than it coming from your sovereign heart, who knows truth. You know what you need and want at the deepest corner of your heart. You just have to be still enough to listen, to develop the safety to go to those places. And most women who come to work with me, they often say similar things, and they often say that they don't even know what they want. But this is not true. You know what you want in a relationship. You know what you want in life. You know what you want. So it's not knowing what you want, it's knowing what is the fear that is there that is holding you back from actually receiving. The queen looks within her instead of looking at others and what they are doing and all the trends and all the shoulds, and looking at the woman next to you who is more successful than you. And if you don't continue to do this and that, you will be missing out. What you really want is not out there. It's within you. But a lot of the times it's the fear that can get in the way, or the doubt, or the self-sabotaging ways of, I can't. And then we fall into this trap of negative self-talk that comes into it. This is not the queen energy. The queen knows she's here for a purpose and for bigger things. She protects her own heart. The moment you admit to yourself what you want, it's in that moment that the universe is going to start giving you the elements to create what you want. And that also means that you need to make the space for that to receive those elements. And when you actually make space for it, you need to let go of the parts of you that are stopping you from creating and magnetizing what you want. And that can also mean the idea of the dying of yourself. And so that means it can feel a little bit scary because it's uncomfortable, because then you also need to know that, yes, okay, things might need to change, or I might need to go for that thing or end this relationship, or I'll need to put myself out there in a different way. And so as a coping mechanism, I witness women saying, I don't know. I don't know what I want, or they continue to keep themselves busy from really facing their truth. But you do know, you always know. It just might feel easier to just continue doing the same thing. But this is where your courage comes into it. The queen gets courageous in being uncomfortable. She gets her hands dirty and she does it with elegance and grace. And sometimes she chooses to do it wild, and sometimes she chooses to do it messy, and she might fall down. But you have the resources within you to continue facing the darkness to come back into the light. So you need to have the willingness to walk through the discomfort and claiming what you really want and walking through the mystery and the process of becoming. This is such a beautiful thing. To me, there is nothing more beautiful than this. You claiming your power like in this way. The truth is, you don't know how it's going to look. Like I said, you might fall down, but that's the beautiful mystery of life. And when you do walk through those golden gates with that trust, what you claim on the other side is priceless. It's so precious. And it's in that moment you really feel like I'm putting on this crown on my head right now and saying, wow, I did this. I did this for me. I did this for my soul. I became this. And I am more me each day. It hasn't been easy, but I would never change this for the world because look at what I have in my life now. So it requires you to be in your queen energy to do this and then to know what you want and go for it. So it's not enough to also just know what you want. That's the first step. The next one is to go after it, to go for it unapologetically. And this doesn't mean you need to do this aggressively. A queen knows that elegance and grace comes from within. It's about how she feels internally, and that feeling then radiates as a humble power. And this means as well not shaming yourself in the process of getting lost in the shaming of others, because the truth is, whatever action you take, you might be misunderstood. You might be shamed by people who are not willing to change. And we are usually shamed for our big dreams and our desires. As little girls, we are told that we can't, it's too much. We have to play safe. I was told this my whole life. I remember I had these big dreams of being a fashion designer and running my own business and doing these amazing things. And instead, because I was the oldest sister, I had a lot of responsibility to take care of them. I was really forced to take on this teacher role, and it felt safer to go there. And I have left my teaching role. It's been 8 years now, and I do hold a lot of respect and regard for teachers. So I'm in no way disregarding teachers and their beautiful work that they do in this world. But for me, I realized it wasn't my dream. It wasn't my purpose. My dream is what I do now, bringing beauty and safety and love into the lives of women. So then they can walk into their relationships feeling nourished and knowing their worth. So they know who they are and their full potential. And we do this through dance because I've always loved dancing and I was a samba dancer. We do this through ceremony, through beautiful, safe spaces, through sacred sexuality. And with that has also meant that I've had to push through a lot of shame from others, and I've had to really show up in my boundaries. So this journey doesn't happen overnight. It took a lot of risks on my end. It's been my whole life's journey to really get edgy and raw and adventurous. It all started for me, my first trip when I was 18, my solo trip overseas. And then I started to take samba dancing lessons. And my point is, every little thing that I chose to do to show up in courage led me to something else. It led me to another opening. And so a lot of the time our journey doesn't make sense, but you always have this courage within yourself. So as a queen, you have to make peace with what you want and make peace with the idea that not everyone is going to agree with it. The thing that we have to do is to create space in the body to allow the desires to be known to you, to allow the expression of the desire to be known to you. The desires that you have carry a lot of code for your purpose and your reason for being here. And if it is rooted in service of your highest good, then this is beautiful. When it comes to desires, I've always had this belief that there's a bigger energy, the goddess, who wants to experience life through us. So it gives us these desires that are unique to all of us. So my desire is going to be very different to yours. I believe that each of us are unique in our expression, in our voice, in our posture, and life, spirit, God, the goddess, universe, whatever you choose to call it, chooses each of us and places these desires like seeds within us for a reason and for a purpose, because it trusts that we are the perfect expression to birth this desire. And this desire may come in the form of beauty, nurturance, joy, kindness, compassion, whatever it is. So for example, my partner he's a big advocate for sustainability, living a life of consciousness through the earth. And so his work and desires have always been centered around conscious eating, veganism, food, taking care of water, the earth. He composts. He's part of a nonprofit organization in Mexico, in the farming. So, and he holds hot cooking experiences. And then there's me who loves what I love to do the most, and that's holding spaces for beautiful women, for them to fully reach their full potential and to know their worth. Now, my point here is that the thing that I have noticed is that for both of us, our desires and our expression is very different, but the core essence is the same, and that is of love. We are in service to this highest good of all through love. And this is why I always say to channel your inner queen is to return to this essence of love. I believe that this is why we are all here, this love consciousness, to tune into that. So when you are worrying about what others are thinking of you all the time, or you need to do the right thing all the time, or to look perfect to be accepted, this takes away the very essence of your queen self. Your power is taken away, and you place your energy outside of you, and you disconnect from that heart consciousness. So instead, I'm inviting you to really know this queen energy, really hold her, be with her. Be with her just by being you, not what everyone else says you need to be. And then knowing what you want and claiming it, even with all the fears which will show up, but claiming it unapologetically. And then just allowing it to happen. So it's about also, when you show up, also trusting the mysterious pathway that life will present to you, to always drop in, to continue activating your body and aliveness through your joy, through your sensuality, through your dance, through your reflections. So sister, what do you want? What needs to happen to make peace with that? That is required to be in your queen energy. Write this down as well. And this leads me to the last thing. What action will you take? The queen takes bold actions. She faces that fear with her sword, and she stands tall and she takes that breath. She exhales and she moves forward with grace. She's not going to see herself as a victim if it doesn't happen. She doesn't make excuses as to why it's too hard, why it can't happen for her, why she can't because she doesn't have enough money. or she's too old. No, she doesn't get caught up in these lies. This is not what it means to be in the queen energy. Life will not present you with the elements that you require because you are stuck in these ways that are not offering you the courage to move forward with your desires when you are getting in your own way like this. A queen does not have time for the pity party of excuses. Sure, you might feel sorry for yourself, you might feel the doubts, but the queen doesn't stay there for long. She's in self-acceptance. She takes leadership of her own life. She falls down, forward, sideways, backwards, whatever ways, but she finds the courage to move forward. And that's not easy, but this is a powerful aspect of the queen. She chooses courage, and it's not about faking it. You can't fake authenticity because authenticity takes transparency, rawness, realness, truth, reliability, intimacy to connect with others on a deeper level through the heart. So this queen energy is an energy that cannot really be put into words. It's felt in the deepest level of your core and your cells. You have to feel her. You have to feel the fear and the discomfort that comes from taking action to create what you really, truly want. The queen energy does not just sit around and allow others to delight her all day or have others feed her with amazing words, and or she doesn't wait and sit around in bubble baths all day, like the representation of the queen that we've been fed through images and fairy tales. For me, it's the opposite. She delights in her own senses. She delights in her own life through her pleasures, in her own love and the love of her beloved. And this doesn't happen by just sitting around. She shows up for it every single day. Yes, I'm all about this natural magnetism of a woman, but that doesn't happen just in deep relaxation all the time. It also happens in her commitment, in her devotion. The difference is she's not always moving from the space of action and doing. She sits, she reflects, she goes within, she does the internal work of knowing what her heart requires to feel nourished and safe. She listens, and then she takes those small steps, small actions that help her to feel loved and nourished, to help her love her body, to love her voice. The queen is there, always showing up every single day. And I always put love and the queen together because the queen sits in a bath of her own love. And this is seen in the way that she really sits with other sisters. She knows herself, she's present, and she's rooted in her worth that no other woman or sister can ever be in competition with her. There's no competition. Embodying your queen energy is all about true queen support, supporting other queens, lifting one another up. This is not about being in competition, because when you are rooted in your queen energy, you know who you are. And when you know who you are unique. You know you are special, you are precious, you are a gift, and nothing can come in between that. And this is not about saying, oh, look at me, I'm the best. In fact, the opposite is true, because she doesn't sit on her throne above everyone. The queen who lives in the new earth paradigm, who honors the mother energy, the mother earth energy, she's in harmony and synergy. She lives and she is being with other women. Every woman is not above her or below her. Sure, she might have gone through different experiences, which allows her to guide other women. But instead of saying I'm authority, it's about how can I support you? How can I guide you and hold you and make you feel safe? So the queen is about supporting one another. because our expressions are so different, our reasons are different, our purpose is different, but our essence is the same. So this is not about tearing each other down or backstabbing or pretending. The queen woman is the love. She knows it, and she inspires other women with that. And it makes them feel safe to go to those depths. We're not here wanting to create love and light spaces. Instead, we are wanting to create spaces that make women feel safe to go, yeah, I feel this. I'm still a bold, daring queen because I can go there. This is what I desire for women to feel in spaces. The queen creates on purpose. She's not worried about what others are creating, because how can she when it doesn't resonate with her voice, her body, her purpose? She's too busy filling up her own soul with her own love. And then in this way, she gives more. When you take care of yourself, sister, it's not about being selfish. The more you allow yourself to live fully, feel alive, and listen to what you want and go for it, the more you inspire, the more present you are, and the more you give to others. So I am encouraging others to know that they can go for their big love and for their dreams. The more I take care of me, the more my relationship is nourished. The more I rest, the more my nourishment allows me to be selfless and more compassionate. This is about that feeling of I'm complete in myself. And from this space, I can take care of you and I can hold space for you. For me, it used to be, what do they want? How can I make him happy before me? How can I change myself to fit in here? How can I make myself small to keep the peace? And so I was diminishing my own self, and I became frustrated. I became restless and more disconnected from me. And now, from me really knowing me, and from feeling nourished from within and from listening to what I truly need, my beautiful man is nourished. He's inspired by me, and he's nourished through my beauty, through my joy, through my sensuality. So yes, by being in this queen energy, you will be able to encourage others. You will be able to support them. You'll be able to be more present for your children. And in this way, because you are loving yourself within and really doing the internal work, you find yourself also not judging. Instead, you come from the place of compassion that takes center stage. You are not shaming. You are not being harsh with your truth. You are not being aggressive to be heard. Instead, you express from love. You walk away from things that are not serving your heart. And you don't feel like you have to be superior or belittle someone when you know it, you are full and complete from within. The jealousy, the comparing, the competition starts to fade away. And you stand in your queen power, which allows you to empower others. This is everything. This is so important. And then you start to treat yourself as royalty. You dress for you. You speak for yourself. You show up as a queen in a way that feels so beautiful. It feels real. And you speak and be and live to be in service of the highest good of all. It's about loving yourself, treating yourself with respect, knowing your boundaries, knowing how to treat your body as a sacred temple, as a beautiful, holy place. Your yoni is that place. This is what we do in Feminine Remembrance, in the 10-week group program. This is everything. And then when you really tap into this queen energy, you meet with your inner king and you see the king in your beloved. And you know what? He steps onto his throne to continue holding that space for you to continue shining and beaming with your light. So let me know in the comments, how are you going to start honoring your queen self? Who is she? What does she want? What does she love? How are you going to show up for her with your brave, bold, daring, graceful, elegant, beautiful, courageous acts of love towards yourself? Let me know. Let me know how this really felt, how this landed. It is time you start to show up for you, sister, and I'm here holding you every step of the way. If you desire to join us in the full moon ceremony, channel your inner queen, and return to love, make sure you sign up for that. I will drop the link below. Remember to also sign up for my 7-day program, Erotic Feminine Embodiment, to start really tuning into your queen self through different somatic practices and dance and just really feeling that aliveness in the body. You deserve that. You deserve to treat yourself like a goddess, like a queen, like the true, beautiful woman that you are every single day. My name is Jessica Angelari. I'm so grateful that you are here. I see the queen in you. Thank you so much, sister. Mwah. All my love and passion to you.